need to shave, dude. And why are we so blue? Do I need to back up? The screen is white. This? It is. Well, I will be waiting. Let me make sure that I am not streaming to 8 different. I'm not having 8 different live streams. I'm only having one. That's 5. I think that's everything. He's a marauder. Hello, Mr. Wallpaper Settings. How are you doing this fine evening? Just got off work, and you know what? I need to get the picks in. I need to get the picks. I have most of my picks already down, but you know what? I figured I feel like it's more fun. I don't know. What would you prefer? I know Guru does it, and most people do it where I don't think there's really any person that, at least nobody big, that live streams making them. Oh, I'm way back here. Sorry if I was a little quiet. I don't know if there's anybody big that does live streams while they're making their picks. So I figure, we might as well see. We might as well see. You know what I'm saying? Not too shabby yourself. Thank you. Thank you. I'm doing pretty good, Had a little bit of overtime at work, but just stocking some fruits. So hard work. Hard work. Like I said, I'm about to make some picks. Oh, goodness. Oh my goodness, dude, that's bright. I turn brightness down. I don't know. Is that better? That may be better, actually. I've got a feeling Usman just blobs DDP, sadly. See, I feel I have this. I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Told you my picks were gonna hit. I made so much money on Patty. Hey, me and you, Anthony Silla. All right, I didn't get many picks right, but I knew Patty would sub up BSD. I didn't think he'd do it that quick though. Did you think he'd do it that quick? Did not think Patty would do it that quick. But wallpaper settings, I get your feeling. The thing is, I'm just not sure. If you look at the hierarchy of grappling, Usman could not really handle Edwards in the second fight and the third fight. The second fight you can make the effort that he was demolishing Edwards, but that third fight with Edwards, he lost. The Buckley fight, Buckley was getting up in the third, fourth, and fifth round. He started stuffing the takedowns, and then you see Sean Brady, who absolutely demolishes Leon Edwards in the grappling, demolishes Buckley in the grappling, and now you can say the Buckley fight was 2 less rounds. I still think if that went for 5 rounds, Brady probably would have finished him on the ground. Maybe not, but I don't know. I just don't think Usman's got that kind of grappling anymore. I don't think he has that grappling anymore. And if you're on the feet for as long as Buckley was against Usman, I think DDP is going to get the KO. Because Buckley and Usman were on the feet for the last 10, maybe 12 minutes. Last 12 minutes of that fight, they were on the feet. I think DDP can get that finish. He's a lot more powerful. I like his combinations more. I think he will get a finish. I think it's going to be scary in the first half, though. So you could be right, wallpaper settings, but also this is a blobbier Usman who, maybe it's just going to reinvigorate him and now have better takedowns, but I'm not too sure. Best picks of the card this weekend are DDP and Tommy. Put in a parlay and get that money. I already got them picked, dude. Also, Tommy to win 2 or 3 rounds is plus 600. Tommy to win 2 or 6 rounds. I'll tell you what I have right now. I'll have right now. These are the picks that I have solidified, second or third round. I'll tell you what I've not even moving anything. This is what I have. All right. I have a DDP finish in the 4th. I have a TKO finish in the 4th. I have a Duncan decision. I don't know if you can put away I don't think maybe he could. I just think if RoboCop can't put away Cannonier, Duncan just looks so bad against Delizzi is what's scaring me. But Cannonier's 40 years old. At some point, you have to pick the younger guy. At some point. I think Christian Leroy Duncan's just going to point fight with Jared Cannonier. I'm honestly on the fence for Hooper and Ramirez. I have Klein by decision. It's a WMA fight. What do you expect? I have McMillen TKO round 3. Mr. Casillo. I think McMillen TKOing Alberto Montes in the second or third is very likely. Just going to put pressure on him, make him scared. I don't think Montes does have that nasty darce, that front choke. I think McMillen, with the pace that he put on in like 1 minute or however long his first fight was, that quick of a pace, I think he can put on a pace and extend it and not worry about Montes just getting him down. He may bring him down to Snapdown City. It's a 50-50 on Tapology between Montes and McMillen. Montes and McMillen 50-50, but also I know it wasn't the best look that he got caught with like a deep choke in the Contender Series. Did McMillen get caught in a darce in the Contender Series? But he rolled out of it very well. He has very good gator rolls. I think even if Montes does lock in or get close to one, I think McMillen can maybe roll out of it because he's got some good rolls. He's got some good submission escapes. Hooper's soy, unfortunately, he's such a victim as soon as he gets hit. Would be better suited to UFC BJJ. I mean, I think wallpaper settings, what they've done with Bryce and Mikey Musumeci, they should do more. Because I'm going to watch that. I think we were saying that when that was announced on the Fight Companion for 329, they need to do more of that, where they just, like Gilbert Burns, I think he's already done maybe one match of UFC BJJ. But still, I think they still need to bring more people over. And Anthony Sillo does not like you disrespecting Hooper, Mr. Anthony, Mr. Wallpaper Settings. He does not like that. Listen, Hooper's a nice guy, but come on, Sillo, you can't just. Hooper doesn't have the dog in him. He doesn't have grit. It's unfortunate. Not all of us can have grit. I'm sure I have less grit than Chase Hooper. He's an MMA fighter. But if you talk in terms of gritty gritsters, Hooper doesn't have any grit. Unfortunately, I wish he did. If he did, he could probably make some. But he's just, as soon as Hooper gets hurt, I feel like he makes all the wrong decisions. Against Hernandez, he's trying to wrestle up instead of. He needs to do more Oliveira, lay on your back, let them come into your guard. But he tries to wrestle up so often. I don't know why. Whenever he gets hurt, and he gets hurt a lot, he wrestles up instead of trying to go to his guard. He needs to start doing that more. I mean, it's probably, but the thing is, I wanted to choose Lance Gibson Jr. against Chase Hooper, but I got bamboozled by the MMA community to choose Chase Hooper again. And if Lance Gibson Jr. is KOing you in the first, if it was like a back and forth, and Lance Gibson Jr. KO'd Hooper in the third, maybe I'd pick Hooper. But Mitch Ramirez, I don't know, dude. But he's getting killed. But Mike Davis is pretty good. Thiago Moises, not the best, but that was 2 years ago, Moises. Prates, he's welterweight, so I guess you could say Hooper has lighterman skill. There's the fight. Oh, sorry, I completely got tracked. So I have DDP round 4 KO, Duncan decision, Klein decision, a McMillen round 3 KO. I have a Delgado decision. I may change that, but Austin Bashi is kind of durable, and I don't know if Delgado finishing Hyder Mill in hindsight's not that impressive. Not that impressive. Connor Matthews decent. Then I have a Seokkyung KO decision, boring decision. Then I have an Out in Coria round 2 KO. By the way, y'all be ready for Out in Coria. He's gonna put on a masterclass. Beautiful, beautiful masterclass for Out in Coria is coming up this weekend. He is my prospect that I'm looking out for, and that's the last thing I have. So I have to start building up. McMillen annoys me personally. He's like a middle school trapped in an adult's body. His personality, I mean, I don't know if you've watched his Fight Companion he did with what's his name? Who's Sean O'Malley's coach? Tim Welch. But he seemed decently chill. in the fight companion with. He's a bit of a pothead is what I think you're getting from. He's kind of a pothead, kind of brain dead. But sometimes that makes the best fighters. Uh, welcome, Mr. Michael Blasco. Welcome back. The fight that got me into MMA was first Paramount Plus Patty Justin. Visited my family for Thanksgiving, had Paramount and watched it all. Great bonding time, crazy fight, dude. Because that was a sick. Let me look back at that. But the first Paramount card was kind of cinema. Hello, Mr. John Dong. John Dong, welcome back, dude. Welcome back. I'm pretty sure the first Paramount event, the first numbered event, which was actually the first Paramount card of the era, was Justin Patty. I'm pretty sure it was cinema. I'm pretty sure it was cinema. What was that, 324? Gaethje Pimlet, right on the top of the head. You had O'Malley, kind of stunk it up. Wado Costa KO'd Lewis. I guess you had Gene Silva, Arnold Allen. That was a fun fight. Umar Figueiredo, Ateba Pulev. Krylov Bukowskis ended with a KO. Alex Perez, Charles Johnson. Josh Hockett was on that card. Ty Killer Miller was on that card, and he hasn't been back since. Some good fights. But yeah, Patty Justin, I remember me and my family also watched that. That was a sick fight. I love McMillen. He's my lock of the week. I got hundreds of dollars on him. He's in every single one of my parlays. Dude, he's pretty good. Again, he overthrows a little bit, and him overthrowing does scare me, but I don't think Montes is the type of guy to really what's it called? Use that opportunity and make good work of that opportunity that McMillen may allow. But yeah, because he's gotten KO'd 4 years ago. He's 32. Montes is 32. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Lance Gibson Jr. isn't even that bad. He did see some you know what? Wallpaper settings. I thought he could have arguably beaten Bobby Green. Now, did I pick Lance Gibson Jr. to beat Bobby Green? Quite possibly. Quite possibly I did, so I have a little bit of bias. But you know what? I think it is in hindsight. He's actually pretty good. But I feel like he's not good enough where if he's getting a round 1K over Chase Hooper, I'm going to ignore it, If it was somebody else getting a round 1K over Chase Hooper, I'd get it, but I don't think Lance Gibson Jr. is so good where he's getting a round 1 KO, and I'm just fine with that. I'm a little worried that he KO'd you in the first. Killer Miller. I know, Killer Miller. I was thinking of doing a top UFC fighters that went MIA. So I was gonna do like John Pork, Chaco, Peyton Talbot, Killer Miller. I was actually thinking about doing a video like that, but I need to get my predictions out first. Mr. John, I actually found 324 disappointing. Only fights I liked were the main event, Silva Allen. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of disappointed with the result of Pimlet Gaethje, just because of how kind of low level. But it was a fun fight. It was more of a fun fight, more fun event because Hockett Denzel Freeman was hilarious. Silva Arnold Allen was pretty fun. Justin Patty. I think seeing O'Malley back and seeing that O'Malley kind of not masterclass, but having O'Malley back and getting the win column was fun. So there were some good fights, but you're absolutely right. It wasn't a crazy good card. Remember the picks I gave you? I'll come back next week to brag. Okay. Sean Pork is booked against some I did see that. I made the video way too late because now I can't say that Chonko is John Pork is MIA. But there's still some fighters that have been MIA. Peyton Talbot. Where is Peyton Talbot? Does anyone know? Missing. Peyton Talbot. Let's look up the rankings. Next Hockett card is going to be Monster Sleeper right now because of the limelight, but he said before years end on Ariel show. Oh, he said John Pork versus John Dong. Wait a minute. That's top level. That's a top level card. I heard Talbot has a kid. I heard that too. Talbot has a kid. That may be in the video. If I make the top MIA fighters, it may be mentioning that Talbot has a kid. Michael Blasco, are you just saying that Josh Hockett said he was going to be sleeper right now because of the limelight, but he said 2 years before two times before year's end on Ariel's show. I know he did a lot of interviews with Ariel Hawani early, and he was some sick stuff, dude. I want to see Talbot Batista, but in hindsight, Batista probably would have won. He probably would have. Unfortunately, Talbot. I mean, the Cejudo fight's hard to really take into account how good Talbot really is. That's what I hate when they feed these guys older people, like when someone beats Marlon Vera or Cejudo, or like an old like Christian Leroy Duncan beating Roman Dolidze and Cannonier. I mean, they show me that he's above the average level, but still, it's like those are old guys on their way out. Josh said he will fight two times before the year ends. Sorry. Oh, I hope he does, dude. Josh Hockett's sick. I want him to fight 4 times a year. I want him to be at every single press conference. I need that to be a new rule. Every single UFC press conference should have Josh Hockett. That's just a rule. But like for flyweight, where is? I mean, we could. I guess if I was to do like the MIA video, I'd say Pantoja, but we kind of know why he's MIA. Then I'd probably do Talbot, and then maybe like David Martinez. I would definitely do I can't really do Evloev. I can't really do Evloev. What is this? Tagirli and Bekov, he's kind of MIA since losing to Bryce. Yair Rodriguez. Boom. Boom. MIA. Top fighters MIA. Yair Rodriguez. Ty Killer Miller. Peyton Talbot. Who else are we thinking? Brian Ortega. Brian Ortega. David Onama. David Obama. Everyone really spotted at lightweight. I'd be super down for a Mayweather Conor rematch. I don't want to see McGregor box again though. If it was MMA, maybe, but even then, it's hard to sell McGregor Mayweather 2 in MMA. I would like to see Dustin McGregor 3, or I would like to see the quadrilogy between Dustin or the Chandler fight for McGregor. I think that'd be pretty good. No one's really MIA. Who's MIA at light heavyweight? Whitaker's ranked number 12. What do they have at Meta? Whitaker is ranked number 13 on the AI. But that may be a video. That may be a video. Anyways, so I'm just gonna go through. I'm gonna go through one last time because more people are here. My picks so far. So far for the Duplessis Usman, I have Duplessis getting a round 4 TKO. I have Christian Leroy Duncan getting a decision over Cannonier. I don't think he'll KO him. I'm unsure on Chase Hooper, Mitch Ramirez. I have Fatima Klein getting a decision over Tabitha Ritchie because she looked awful. I have McMillen getting a round 3 KO over Alberto Montes. I have Jose Delgado getting a decision over Bashi. That may change to a KO. I just think Bashi's a little durable. I have Song Hyun KO by decision because he's boring. Because he's very, very boring. Then I have I don't know Philip Franco or Levi Rodriguez Jr. I have out in Coria round 2 KO for Stuart Nicoll. I said this earlier. I'll say it again. Be ready for Alden Coria to take over the UFC. Be ready for him to take over the UFC because that's the kind of man Alden Coria is. Alvin Hines versus RJ Harris. I don't have. Dion Barbosa should win this. She should. She should win this. And then I don't have Damian Anderson or Ezra Elliott. So I think we're gonna get down to the nitty gritty, and I'm gonna start watching fights. I'm gonna give some of my reactions. Should I have? Let me pull up this so y'all can see what I'm gonna be making live. That may help out. So if I do this, let me. Okay, so we're gonna go boom, boom, Maybe something like this. What were we thinking? Something like this. Maybe if I zoom in like this. So right now I'm gonna be looking at. Let's start off with Damian Henderson, Ezra Elliott. I'm just gonna watch some fights. I hate when people call fights film. These are fights. It's not film, dude. These are fights. You're not watching film. Okay? You hear me? We're watching fights, not film. What is this? Football? I think right there is good. What do we think of that? Out of 10. What are we thinking? Connor legs blow out again. They should amputate it live on TV in the middle of the ring. Just get done with it. You know what they should do? If it blows out again, they bring in the metal leg. That's what they do. They bring in the metal leg of doom. That's what they do. If McGregor's leg blows up, we bring out that metal leg and we give him an animatronic leg. I think that's what you do. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit more. Okay. What we thinking? What we thinking? So here you can see. How's that? So I'm gonna be making my picks there. I'll be watching up here. Should be good. Should be good. I think. But let's just get started. Let's just get started. Put my keyboard in my lap and we're just gonna look at Damian Anderson, Ezra Elliott. 5-0 to 7-0. Crud. I gotta do this. Maybe I should zoom out a little bit. Maybe like that. Because now, ooh, if I do that. No, I don't need that. Now we can do this. A bit of this. Okay. I like that. I like that. If I do this. Oh. I messed it all up. Yeah, I messed it all up. We'll go back to here. Now this Ezra Elliott guy looks like a very less attractive Alexei Progando, or whatever the guy's name is. You know who I'm talking about? That's probably better. Y'all probably know Alexei Progando. Guys making all those YouTube videos. Damian Anderson. Yeah, beats guy 5-1, 0-2. Bantamweight, man league bantamweight. Always been fighting. He fought once at featherweight, a couple times at featherweight, a couple times at bantamweight, once at lightweight for amateur. Okay, let's look at Ezra Elliott. A lot of canceled bouts. Beats guys 8-8, 2-1, 3-0, 3-0. Okay, Darce choked a bunch of people. Loves that Darce choke. Okay, what has he been fighting at? Featherweight, always some catchweight, bantamweight, featherweight, catchweight, bantamweight, catchweight. First time here, let's go. Welcome, Mr. Danny Boy, Ohio. I'm gonna go through. I'm making some picks, some live picks. I'll be reading chat too. You know, I like I said earlier, I haven't really seen people make picks in real time. So I was just thinking, you know what? Why don't we make picks in real time? So I'm first time trying out picks in real time. We'll see how it is. If it's good, it's good. This is best in my channel by far. Stick with it and you'll be a heavy opinion in no time. Thank you, Mr. Michael Blasco. Thank you, Mr. Michael Blasco. I'm hoping so. If y'all, I don't know how much MMA YouTube y'all watch, but Guru's, he's lost his mind. He's gotten a job for some reason. literally a millionaire, and he's getting a job. Dude's lost his mind. So hopefully we will take over. We will be consistent. We will be streaming often. Uh, and we will have not mediocre picks like last card. All right, no more mediocre picks from me. All right, we're going good. We're going good. But again, welcome, Mr. Danny Boy Ohio. Again, like I said, we're gonna make it a thing where big YouTubers do live streams making their picks because I think it's a fun interactive thing. And y'all may persuade me, and if you persuade me into the wrong choice, then uh, it's y'all's fault, not mine. You know what I'm saying? So it's a win-win for me, really. And if you persuade me into the right choice, I can say I was always going to pick that. So it's, again, there's no way I can lose. Guru has a job? Yeah, he said that he's getting a job because he needs consistency. I don't know, dude. I think he has autism, if I'm being honest. But it doesn't matter, dude. I'll take his job and he'll take my job. He'll start working at Walmart. And then everything will be right. Everything will be all right. Damian Anderson, Ezra Elliott. It's not a bad idea on his part. He heard he's socially isolated when he was in his early 20s. I think, if I'm being honest, he's being a bit of LeBron James, if you know what I mean. You know, like how LeBron James is always reading books, and then like somebody will say a quote, and LeBron's like, "Oh, that's my favorite quote." He's being a little, what's the word? Not extra. They call LeBron James this though, when he's like just doing stuff just to do stuff, just seem deep. I could be wrong. Maybe he does need an actual job to keep consistency in his life because he said he needs something to wake up for. But then at that point, just wake up and go to the gym. But there are other ways to socialize. Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you're having trouble sleeping up and having like a schedule to go to the gym in the morning. Boom, boom. Schedule and do this in the morning. Like do something light in the morning where you just have to be up. But extra. No, is it extra? Performative. He's being a little performative, in my opinion. In my opinion, he's being a little performative right now. I could be wrong. I don't know what he's going through, but I feel like if I'm the MMA guru and I have how many? Let's see how many subscribers he has. How many subscribers does the MMA guru have? He's there. Here's his prediction video. 441,000. His videos are making 75K, 188K, 248K, 416K, 270K. I mean, infinitely times more than mine. Dude, I'm not getting a job. But it's not the MMA guru talk hour. It's not me being jealous hour. All right. It's me. It's working to become it's working to get what he has hour. All right. We're working for that. We are working for that. Live stream with Connor had 15K views. We're right now, if you think about it, we're all putting work in to get to that. If you think about it like that. Think about it like that. That's what we're all working towards together right now. So I don't know. Hey, start buying some bot accounts. You know what I'm saying? Start buying some bot accounts. Do you want to hear? So here's the milestones I have to hit to unlock like monetization and stuff because I'm not monetized, of course. I barely have 50 subscribers, barely have 40 subscribers. But to get monetized, where do I see that? I think it's here. Yeah, it's here. Earn. Just to unlock memberships, which I'm not going to make any money off memberships. But I need 500 subscribers. Oh my goodness. And 3,000 public watch hours is what I need. And then to actually earn money off of ads and stuff, I need 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours. So, it's going to be a while. Going to be a little while before we get there. It'll be a little while, but you know what? We work to it. Let's bot up to 100K live viewers and you'll get the podcast. You know what, dude? I like Michael Blasco. I like what you're thinking. I like how you're thinking. let's watch some Damian Anderson fights, all right? If any of y'all want to watch along, am I back? Am I back? I think I'm back. My Wi-Fi cuts out late at night. So if I'm back, I'm back. If not, this is not good. But hopefully, I'm back. Hopefully. Oh, I never said welcome back, Mr. The 10-7 MMA. Welcome back. I don't know if you're still here, but welcome. Am I back? Okay. Luckily, also I need a shade. That's nasty looking, dude. That is nasty looking. Let's turn this off. There we go. A little bit better. Maybe let's do a bit of this. Okay. Okay. I don't know who's who. I'm guessing that's Damian Anderson. That is. Okay. Good knee to the body. You separate. Good body kick. Head kick. Little telegraph though. Jab. Shoots in for a single. Doesn't get it though. Am I here, Mr. John Dog? I see you typed. Now you're biting your fingernails, so I'm hoping that means that you're just sitting in anticipation of who I choose between Damian Anderson and Ezra Elliott. I'll tell you right now, Damian Anderson is in first place, in my opinion. So far. A little bit of better competition from what I've seen. Okay, now you're happy. So that means you're here. All that's what I know what that means, that you're here. He gets taken down pretty slick though. Both these guys are good grapplers though. Uh-oh though. Does he get this knee bar? Oh, he does. Oh. I don't really trust. I don't know about y'all, but if someone gets an E-bar in a amateur or regional scene, I don't know if I trust that for the UFC. Let's see, Damian Anderson, 5-0. I can't see. Maybe if I do this. No, it's still being weird. 5-0. 4 submissions, 1 TKO. What is Ezra Elliott? 5 submissions for Ezra Elliott, 2 KOs. All right, let's see this Ezra Elliott guy in work. Let's see him in action. Let's see him. I will be watching Ezra Elliott, Ashton Canigilla. If I can. I can't. They don't have any Ezra Elliott for me to watch. That's not good. Okay, so we cannot watch any Ezra Elliott fights. He's got a TKO. He's got a KO. Co-main event. Rear naked choke. Darce. Rear naked. Face crank. Darce, and then some strikes. This guy's 5-1 though, 4-1. He's behind a guy who's 8-8 and 2-1. 3-0, 3-0. That's decent, though. Better than 0-2 and 0-2. These guys have never gone to a decision either. So do I trust Ezra Elliott or Damian Anderson, who's getting heel hooks, knee bars, some rear naked chokes? So he'll drop a lot. He may pull bottom a lot. I don't know if I like that. I'm probably going to choose, let's lock it in. I'm probably going to choose an Ezra Elliott. This is tough, though. He's younger, a little bit taller. We don't know for sure on the reach. He's out of MMA Lab. Who's in MMA Lab? Feels like I should know who's in MMA Lab. Vincent Henderson? Wait a minute. Batista? Okay. Carclose. Cannonier. So he got on this card because he was with Cannonier. Jose Delgado. Okay. Again, probably going to choose an Ezra Elliott decision. I don't know. Roll with Elliott. That's what I'm thinking, Danny Boy, Ohio. I think if you're pulling bottom, it's going to work on the regional scene. Damian Anderson's pulled bottom twice from what I've seen already. I don't know if I like that. Elliott's got the length. I don't know about his reach because I don't know if y'all can see, but it says not available for his reach. But he's got a little bit of height. I'm guessing he has the reach. A little bit younger. He's in Arizona. Yeah, we're going to go with Ezra Elliott. We're going to go with Ezra Elliott for a reason? Is that what you're asking me? No reason. But we are just going to go with him. Up next, Dion Barbosa and Anna Milonso. It should be a Dion Barbosa. Now, the matter is, by what? Karina Silva, losing to Karina Silva is not the best look. But Anna Milonso, oh man. She's not the worst looking, though, to be fair. Andrea Marno, Lydia Warren, Dutch stoppage KO, decision. She's on the Ultimate Fighter? What's that photo? Dion Barbosa, you know, she got the majority decision for Melissa Gatto. Got decision, lost a decision to Karina Silva. Deanna Belbita, triangle choked her. Lost to Miranda Maverick, but Miranda Maverick is not the worst. Jenna Bishop. What's the age? 34 to 29, dude. A 34-year-old woman. I mean, Milano has a 3.5 reach advantage, but the thing is, women do not use their reach advantage. They just don't. I mean, it's a known fact. Women do not use their reach advantage, which is unfortunate, but they just don't. Was Anna Milosano fighting at flyweight? And now she's at bantamweight? Oh, she was fighting at strawweight, and now she's at flyweight. Am I hearing lighter woman scale? Wait a minute. You know what, dude? We're going to do something that's never been done before. Nobody's picking Melisano. You know what? Hey, guess what? Guess what we do around here with By the Numbers, dude? We don't go by the numbers. We go by the heart. And the heart's telling me she has been subbed before, though. Cheyenne Bowers. 7-3 now, though. Not actually the worst loss ever. Lost at PFL, but has some decent wins. Whitney Piles. Galen Pereira. Are y'all with me? Are y'all with me? She's a kickboxer, has some kickboxing wins. Does she? I can't see any kickboxing wins. Went to decision 3 times, has 2 KOs. Submitted once. Who's the biggest underdog you correctly predicted to win? I mean, it's got to be Sean Strickland to beat Chimaev. That's the only thing I can... Like, that's the biggest... If you're talking about, like, in terms of main card, biggest odds to win, it's got to be Sean Strickland to win by decision. That was my biggest. Pretty sure that'd be my biggest. Another big underdog I got. Who was it recently? I got a decent underdog not too long ago. Like I get weird underdogs. I get weird underdogs most of the time. Like I didn't get any underdogs. What's up, brother? Absolute hardcore MMA fan. Always searching the live tab and came across your stream. Welcome, Mr. Little Cupcakes. With the first debut fights, take over 1.5 rounds if your sports book offers it. Oh yeah, I mean, most debut fights, dude. It's 50-50 though, because sometimes they just finish each other instantly, but most of the time they are just have no clue what they're doing, gas out, just don't know how to find that finish. It goes a decision, unless it's like a good prospect. But welcome, Mr. Little Cupcakes. We're doing some live predictions here because I don't see anyone else doing it, so we're gonna be the first people to make it poppin'. Who else does live predictions? Let me know so I can tell them to back off. Are y'all gonna call me crazy if I choose Anna Melisano by decision? Am I crazy, dude? Big underdog, but I don't hate it. Haha. I don't hate the idea of Anna Melisano to get it. I got down. She's stronger jawline. That is true. She is more of a man. But she is 32. 34. In woman's years, she's like 50. I feel like in woman years, if you're 34 and you're a woman, you're probably around 50 in terms of like athletic age. No? I feel like your athletic prime comes and goes a lot quicker if you're a woman. Melisano do got that psycho look though, could be a beast. See, Little Cupcake's already joined and he already knows. She's a kickboxer. She has that reach advantage. Look at that. 3.5 reach advantage. If she's a kickboxer, she may actually know how to use it for once. Same height. She has lighter woman skill. She used to fight at in woman years 50 is crazy. Dude, that's what it is, dude. In woman years, how much like if we think about this, you might be right though. That's what I'm saying. How quick does a woman's athletic prime come and go compared to a man's? I feel like it comes and goes quicker. What was I gonna say? She fought at strawweight. Anna Melisano fought at strawweight, so she has lighter woman skill. This is one of her first flyweight bouts. So she could just be too small and she may get ragdolled. You could be right. Danny or Little Cupcakes with that stronger jawline, she may just be too masculine. This is tough. But she's got Kevin Holland in her profile. If you look at her Tapology profile picture, Anna Melisano has Kevin Holland in there. Yeah, hey, call me crazy. Call me crazy. We go for Anna Melisano. We go for her, dude. By decision. Dylan Barbosa going to be too slow. She's not going to get her takedowns that she needs. I think Anna Melisano is going to keep her at range, just kickbox her, and get a boring decision win. I mean, Valentina looks like a grandma. She's only 38. And Valentina arguably lost to Men on Fair. Should have lost I didn't really watch that fight, so I don't know. I can't speak on it too much. But arguably lost to Man in Fair and then bullied a very small Zhang Wei Li, if you think about it that way. So she's not even really winning at 38. I think it's time to choose an underdog in WMMA. It's got to happen at some point. I'm actually if I think I get most WMA fights correct. I'm pretty sure. For some reason, I can just, whenever it's the flip of a coin with WMA fights, I get that right most of the time. I'm trying to see. Good Luck Barb has more experience. Dean Barbosa has more experience. She does. She does for the decision, huh? Anna Melisano's at least has some kickboxing. I can't see her kickboxing fights, though. What if I do this? Has one split decision kickboxing one at bantamweight. She's going more drastically for sure. Now she's just getting by. It was still impressive with how long she's done it. But yeah, I think she's past prime. For Shevchenko, yeah. definitely. I mean, again, it's not her fault if you see an easy way to win, you're gonna take it, but it's still boring. Still very boring. Why are you trying to change my mind, Danny Boy Ohio? Because you are right, but Barbosa does have more experience. I'm just gonna have to take Melisano, going off the fact that she's younger, she's gonna be quicker, she'll be more explosive, have more energy in the later rounds, and may be able to just get it off of pitter patter shots. They're gonna shadow box at range. That's a guarantee with WMA. So I think Anna Melisano is gonna shadow box at range less of the time than Dion Barbosa, and hopefully she'll shuck off a takedown or two. It's WMA. You can't afford to analyze WMA too much because then you'll just lose your mind. If you try and actually make sense of the WMA, you may just lose your mind. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to go with Anna Melisano and hope for the best. We're just going to hope for the best because that's what else can you do? Got a shadow box at range. I mean, it's kind of a guarantee. If there was a bet for will this WMMA fight have more or less than 1.5 minutes of shadow boxing? Always take the over. How about that? How about that for a gambling advice, Danny Boy, Ohio? How about that? Always pick the over. I got to redo the picks because I did it wrong. So we said what? Melisano decision and an Ezra Elliott decision. Okay, Alvin Hines, R.J. Harris. How are we thinking about this? Off the bat, probably R.J. Harris, Alvin Hines, Jonathan Deniz. The Deniz loss isn't the best, but it's also not the worst. 34-27, 6'2" to 6'6", 74-inch reach to an 80-inch reach. I wonder if that's a line on Cauchy. That could possibly shadow boxing at range. Possibly could be a line for women's fights. If it's not, it should be. Because it hit the over for Ortega Wong Kang, whatever her name was. Over 100 minutes shadow boxing at range. That's just what it is, dude. That's what it is. All right, Alvin Hines, R.J. Harris. Let's see. R.J. Harris props. That's what I'm thinking. Wallpaper settings. That's what I'm thinking. Betting over every time. You're probably getting money too. Probably making bank with over for shadow boxing at range. Let's see. Alvin Hines, R.J. Harris. R.J. Harris, though, has he gone against somebody as good as Jonathan Deniz? Johanna Deniz? Is that the kickboxing guy? It is. Who got destroyed by Pinto. Tybora was having a decent fight with Tybora. Just got stopped with that cut. Just getting beat up, though. Coin flip fight. It is heavyweight, too. We go from, this is what I hate, dude. We go from a woman's fight to heavyweight is the worst way of going to fights. Dude, speaking of, I can't believe that Joe Rogan in round 3 was trying to say that Wong Kang might need a finish. If you listen, if you're listening to Joe Rogan, it better be your first UFC card. That's the only excuse you have to be listening to Rogan, because if it's not, you may actually lose your mind if you're trying to listen to Rogan and DC. If him and DC need to act like they've never, like someone needs to, Men in Black, erase their minds of each other. Because if Rogan and DC weren't best buddies, best friends, and they weren't just trying to have fun with each other, maybe they'd be better. But because they're too friendly, like, at least Anik's kind of, you can tell he's trying to do a job. Anik, you can tell he's kind of clocking in and out, which is weird. Because you can always tell it's Rogan and DC, and then it's John Anik. It's not 3 of them. It's Rogan and DC, and John Anik over here. His leg is done, folks. Yeah, dude. It's awful. It's awful. Bedtime already beat me to making fun of commentary videos, so I can't do it legally because I want to try and not just recreate videos that the bigger YouTubers do, but yeah. Again, he has some, like, there's some use, like, he can, if it's a certain type of fighter, if you're, a fighter that Drew Dober would really beat the crap out of, or a fighter that Joe Rogan just loves automatically, he won't give them an excuse, but any other fighter, he can kind of just know if they've been injured somehow. He has x-ray vision for injuries. Because he called out that Sean Strickland injury against Chimaev pretty quick with his right arm, or right shoulder being torn. But besides that, and then the Drew Brees, or Theo Johnson. No, it was Theo. Was it? Is it Theo Vaughn? Theo Vaughn, Drew Brees, and that guy. What even is? Who's the analyst that comes in between rounds? The black guy? Dean Thomas? Dean Thomas? No. Whatever his, like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Also, it says 2 people here. I'm hoping there's more. I want to run an idea by y'all. I was thinking about making a video because how many of y'all watch college football or like football, basketball, something like that? Another sport. Din Thomas, that's what it is. Din Thomas. What was I saying? I can't even remember what I was saying. Probably something stupid. I love Din. Din's good, but why do I need? I get it's coming from like an MMA coach perspective. Someone who's saying like, if it was my fighter, I'd tell him to do this. But I don't need to hear that for every single fight. And then also, it's like in the middle of the rounds. If it was in between rounds, maybe. Din Thomas reminds me of that black weather reporter from Family Guy goes, "It's raining sideways." Both football and basketball current, mainly big games, less playoffs. You watch football, Danny Boy, Ohio. I'm assuming you like Ohio. Could be wrong though. Maybe a Buckeyes fan. Anyways, I was thinking the reason football, it may not be a reason because football and basketball are just inherently bigger sports because they've been around longer. They have more of a culture built into it. But I was thinking part of the enjoyment of football and basketball and stuff where it has that college level is that there's the college level and you watch players rise to the college level and then get to the major leagues. The MMA, UFC, you call it the UFC because that's all you watch is just the UFC. What other sport? I guess golf. Golf's kind of the same thing where you only watch the pros. Um, you only watch the pros, but still, I feel like if the MMA could make the regional scene more popular, it'd be a lot better because then you can have that kind of that flow of following players, having star players, of course, and then they all go to here. So there's different regional scenes, and then you have that one big major league. I think that'd make. I don't know if that'd do well, but I think there's definitely a way where if they started investing more into regional scenes, having the regional scenes be a part of the mainstream media, I don't know. I don't know. I think there's a way to do that. That's just something I was thinking about. I may make a video on that too. Uh, like how the UFC can increase its popularity. I don't know. What do y'all think of that? Danny Boy, I was thinking about doing a football video too, though. Get your own channel while doing. I'd probably just do this channel. That's why I didn't have it. That's why I don't have like MMA in this, like a some by the numbers MMA or something MMA or MMA something in this channel name because I wanted to do any video that I wanted to. Uh, but I don't know. What do y'all think of that? What are we thinking on that? Am I a schizophrenic? Is what I need to know. Do I have a mental illness that's making me think this way? That's what I need to know. Do I have CTE already just from watching the sport too much? I need to know all this, so I need y'all to set me straight. I need y'all to set me straight. But I will say, a little sneak peek, Danny Boy, Ohio. I was gonna make a video over football on how I don't know if the Rams will make it to the Super Bowl. Hot take. All relying on Matthew Stafford, who not even 2 years ago broke his back, had a back-breaking injury. Not figuratively, he broke his spine or whatever. And now it's all relying on him or Ty Simpson. I know the defense can carry games, and so that may be what it is, but and Puka and Devontae Adams are different beasts, but I could very well see Stafford getting injured in week 4 and just losing playoff hopes or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Again, that's another thing where I just have CTE that's making me think that. That's why I'm hoping I will be told if I'm an idiot or not. So while y'all, I'll let the jury deliberate on that. While y'all are deliberating on the two big knowledge bombs that I just released, let me make my picks. All right, Alvin Hines, R.J. Harvest though, debut, Le Plateau, Austin Green, okay. Out of LFA, I like LFA. LFA is a pretty good promotion. We had 2 fights at LFA, got head kicked by. But Alvin Hines was on the sauce. He's kind of slow, fat. Yeah, it's probably an RJ Harris. Did If Jonathan Deniz wasn't able to KO Alvin Hines, Harris won't either. RJ Harris decision by boring blob decision. Of course, out in Coria is going to put on a masterclass. Let me just see, when does Stuart Nicoll really get KO'd? And when does out in Coria get his KOs? I know. Oh, okay. There we go. Stuart Nicoll has been KO'd once in the second. Out in Coria has 4 TKOs in the second. Yeah. Yeah, I'm loving that. For the for this fight, pick KO or TKO or on your favorite fighter with football. Take it week by week. You mean like the difference between the two sports? Or are you saying how I should make videos? Man, my loaf of bread is about to fly off my head, dude. About to fly off my head. For this fight, pick KO or TKO on your favorite fighter. With football, take it week by week. In terms of that Matthew Stafford LA Rams not making it to the playoffs, or not playoffs, but not making it to the Super Bowl idea, and like that was two separate things. Like for this one, I should choose RJ Harvest by KO. I don't know if Jonathan Deniz, who was a really good kickboxer, wasn't able to TKO Alvin Hines, and I don't know if RJ Harvest uh, Harris has that same kind of power. He has a couple submissions though. Maybe he could submit Alvin Hines. Let me actually look back at this. Alvin Hines, he's only lost by decision though. Only lost by that one decision. 3 submissions, three KOs. Alvin Hines has 3 submissions, 1 KO, 1 decision. I'm probably just gonna stick with decision because heavyweights, if heavyweights don't get what they want, dude, they just blob it up. They're bloppy blobsters. They will blob it up if they don't get what they want in round one. And I don't know if either of them can KO each other in the first. So I think I'll stick with RJ Harris by round one. But I can see what you're talking about. They could they won't make it to the Super Bowl. Yeah, for the take it week by week. I know what you're saying. But when did Stafford get hurt? It was 2 years ago, right? And he like broke like his back or something. I'm not saying like it's a video where I'd say they confirmed don't make it to the Super Bowl, but I'd say where it would be more of a video where I say, uh, don't be surprised if they don't. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm worried for the LA Rams or something like that, where it's just putting out that they're not. I know they assembled the Avengers, but Iron Man is very brittle. He's wearing a very brittle Iron Man suit right now. You know what I'm saying? Captain America does not have his vibranium shield this go around. He's got a cardboard shield. It could give out. Backhand hand. What do you mean backhand hand? Let's look at Felipe Franco, Levi Rodriguez Jr. Why was that turned over? So 10-2 to 5-0, 25-29. Probably Felipe Franco. Mario, but actually, yeah, we're definitely going Felipe Franco. That Mario Pinto, I know it was short notice, and he did have lighter man skill because this is probably at what, light heavyweight, yeah. So, but that's very impressive, in my opinion, for Felipe Franco to take Mario Pinto to a pretty competitive decision. Yeah, 3-1-1, 2-0, 3-3, 3-1, 4-0. Yeah. Now, do we go with KO? Submission, KO. He got submitted by Freddie Vidal, 3-0. Ooh, never mind, dude. I'm not as sure anymore. For the quarterback? Oh, he broke his back and hand? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Especially he's so old. Stafford's so old. What is he? How old is Matthew Stafford? How old is John Matthew Stafford? 38. Oldest active QB in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers, 42. So if Aaron Rodgers can still sling it and he doesn't really get injured, maybe Stafford won't have the injury proneness that I think he may have. But still, you know, uh, I think it's still plausible. It's still plausible. What did I close on accident? There it is. I don't know why I closed that. Felipe Franco versus Felipe Rodriguez Jr. Franco has lost by a submission and a decision. He is KOing bums though. 19-16, 0-2, 0-0, 0-5. Like he's fighting guys that are 0-0 when he's 7-0, 0-1 when he's 6-0. Ugh. Who is Levi Rodriguez beating though? Overturned to a no contest? What is that about? Rodriguez tested positive for steroids. Sick. So we got a steroid cheat and a guy who's padding his record. So what are we thinking? Franco is padding his record against guys that are 0-0 and 0-1 while he's 6-0, 7-0. And Rodriguez got won his contender series contract or his Dana White contender series contract off of steroids. So what are we thinking? 3. This is tough. I'm gonna go with Felipe Franco. I think him taking Mario Pinto, who's a very good a very good heavyweight prospect in my opinion, to a decision like that is actually very impressive. Very impressive in my opinion. Tough fight, but I like Franco. Yeah, I'm thinking Franco too. If you does he get the KO though? He's never been finished. How many KOs does he have? 6 KOs in the first. 4 in the first. 4 submissions in the first. Light heavyweight. Looked pretty good against Pinto. He's young too, 25. Has a bit of a reach advantage or reach disadvantage. A little bit taller though. Does he KO Levi Rodriguez Jr.? He's Brazilian, but he's Mexican Brazilian. You know what I'm saying? Decision or sub? I'm probably gonna stick with decision. I don't know, because he's been sub before. Like you can tell, this guy's got a Mexican chin. If you know, you know. This guy has a Mexican chin. I mean, look at that thing, dude. Look at that thing. Look at that thing. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna go with decision. He could sub him, but he took that Mario Pinto fight on short notice. He's now coming in, getting his first fight at light heavyweight by a guy who's debuting. He'll probably want to make a statement. Hopefully, I think probably decision's good. But he has maybe, you know what? He has a couple. When does Franco? He has 4 first round submissions. You know what? You swayed my opinion, Danny Boy, Ohio. We're going for round 1 submission. I just don't know what Levi Rodriguez's submission defense is like. He's just been KOing these bums out. And he's on the sauce. Oh my goodness. Amateur. Round 1 KO. Round 1 KO. Round 1 KO. If this is also for steroids, I'm gonna lose it. Oh, punches after the bell. Okay, that's why. Round one KO. Round one KO. Yeah, this guy. I'm assuming Rodriguez has no submission, has no ground game. And I'm assuming that Franco has such high level ground game, dude. Guess what? We're going with the round one. Round one submission. We go for that, dude. Seung Hook KO by decision. I think this is pretty obvious. John Paul Lebanasi took Phil Rowe to a split decision. Take Frank in the later rounds. What, you think like round 2 or 3? He has 4 submissions in the first, though. And when they're dry, I like these heavier fighters. I like their submission ability a lot more when they're dry. When they get sweaty and they're such blobs, and they get sweaty and they're a lot slicker. But we can do a round 2 KO. We can do a round 2 submission. He just has 4 in the first. Maybe it's his first second though. Maybe he'll pop his second round submission cherry, dude. I don't know. Let me look at this. He's had a couple decisions. Of course, he's only lost by decision. So you know what? Him going to decision with Mario Pinto is not the worst. Has Levi Rodriguez Jr. ever gone to a decision? He has not. Even in his amateur bouts, he's never gone to a decision. The latest he's been in is round 3, but his opponent got a shoulder injury. That's the latest he's been in there. All right, Danny Boy Ohio, I'm trusting you. Levi hits hard in the first round. Yeah, but if he's grappling and if he's got him dry, and it seems like Levi has that fast twitch muscle, which, like you said, it's gonna hurt in round 1. So you think he's gonna gas out quickly on the floor, and then round 2 is when Franco's gonna be able to do whatever he wants. You know what? You've convinced me, Danny Boy Ohio. We'll go with round 2. Again, this is why I like doing these live, because guess what? If it's round 1, I can just say I was going to do that, and boom, I'm right. And if it's round 2, I can say I was going to do that either way, and then I just won't bring up that you convinced me, Danny Boy Ohio. I just won't bring that up, and so they'll think I just chose it naturally. So it's great for me if you think about it that way. Anyway, Seung Hook KO. I mean, if you just look at the Phil Rowe performances, that should tell you that. Now, Jose Delgado, do we go with the KO? I think Bashi's kind of resilient. Fight starts standing first, I know, but Philip Franco, I think his entrances are pretty good. From what I saw with the Mario Pinto fight, I like Philip Franco's entrances and entrances. Is it entrances? Now I feel like entrances is weird. I like his takedown attempts. Maybe that's the best way to say it. Oh my goodness. Oh. Okay, don't do that, because that just blew up everything. So don't do that again. Maybe let's, okay. Yeah, that blew up everything. About this. There we go. What did he get on the Contender Series? He lost to Freddie Vidal, though. How good is Freddie Vidal? Freddie Vidal. Levi Rodriguez Jr. No contest. Oh, it was this one? Is he friends with Aljamain Sterling and stuff? Oh, it's this one. Oh my goodness. He got submitted by Levi. Oh no, he got submitted by Felipe Franco. Or he submitted. Sorry. Felipe Franco got submitted by Freddie Vidal, who got KO'd by Levi Rodriguez Jr. What a look at that. Freddie Vidal. I think that's a pretty bad fight if I remember correctly too. We'll watch a bit of Mario Pinto Felipe Franco. Let's see his entrances on his takedowns. Let's see. Let's see how he does against Pinto one more time, real quick. Let's put this to 2 times speed though, just because we have brain rot. Is it doing its thing again? It's not. Okay. There's only one live stream. Just making sure. Just look. That's pretty good. In the clinch with Pinto, and he's doing decent in the clinch with Pinto right here. Separates pretty well. But he does have lighter man skill than Pinto. He should be out technicalitying Pinto. Pinto shoots that single, turns it around pretty well. Pinto takes him down. Probably won't teach me anything. Let's look at this Felipe Franco. Yes, this Felipe Franco guy is friends with Aljamain Sterling and Marab. And did he get like a buzzer beater submission? Started crying? He did. That is a bad look. But he gassed out. I just don't like him. But again, Levi Rodriguez Jr. is not going to have the ground game of Felipe Franco. Felipe Franco has 4 wins by submission. Or sorry, Freddie Vidal. How many submission wins does he have? 1. He only has 1 submission win, and he missed weight. So maybe you can say that's why. I'm gonna stop bogging down though. It's a light heavyweight fight, dude. This is light heavyweight. Do we care? We do, because my picks were awful last week. Did Dan Hooker beat the allegations? Michael Blasco. Well, apparently he has a new girl toy. Is what I've seen. He has a new stripper. Not stripper. That's rude. A new woman of the night that has been posting videos with him and stuff like that. So I mean, Michael Blasco. We don't know. I did a video on the Dan Hooker allegations. How well did that video do? I think that video did decent. I love the thumbnail on my Dan Hooker video. Where is that one? That is so funny. It's just him. That's not that good of a thumbnail. That's looking back at it, not that good of a thumbnail. I need to get better thumbnails. What do we think of these recent thumbnails? I've been trying to copy Guru less. Because if I'm being honest, I've just been copying Guru for thumbnail templates. I've been trying to copy them less, but it's hard to. But like with my McGregor pulling out and Dustin Poirier being arrested, I think that was a pretty good looking thumbnail. Not the best, but it's decent. I don't like that Matchmaker Monday thumbnail I did, if I'm being honest. Not the best thumbnail. Probably could do better. But the McGregor one, got about 250 views. That's good for me. Who would be the UFC Diddy if there was one? Dude. I mean, Dan Hooker's too. If you want something other than Dan Hooker, I'm sure you want an answer other than Dan Hooker. Who do I think would be like a UFC Diddy? John Jones. I mean, John Jones. If we're talking active, then maybe Adesanya, dude. CKB. We don't know the horrors what happens at the CKB gym, but I would guess like Adesanya or Olberg. You know what I'm saying? On that island in their CKB gym all alone? Oh, I wonder what they're doing up in there. Nothing good. Nothing good. So that's three answers for you, Michael Blasco. We got Dan Hooker for just the obvious answer for obvious reasons. We got John Jones if you want to go all time. He's probably an all time Diddy of the UFC. And then we have Israel Adesanya for first name reasons possibly, along with the new face of the CKB gym, Carlos Olberg. So those are three good answers, three or four good answers I've given you. So you're welcome, dude. Use that wisely. Use that very wisely. Yeah, we're gonna stop thinking on this too much. Well, you know what, Mr. Danny Boy Ohio, I'll trust you. We'll go around to submission for Felipe Franco. Of course, Song Hyuk KO. We've been over this decision. Now, do we think Delgado will get the finish? I'm not sure. I'm not too sure Delgado can get this finish. Pax Jones or Israel. I mean, hey, dude. Hey, dude. If the shoe fits, are we thinking Austin Bashi will get put away because Delgado lost? Delgado is just recently gone downhill. The Hyder Amil KO is not as impressive. You know, the Nathaniel Wood, he missed weight, but that's still a pretty good fight in hindsight for him to have it be decently close. Arguably got robbed, and Nathaniel Wood's very good, so that's but the Andre Philly split decision win where he arguably robbed Andre Philly. Connor Matthews isn't that bad though, KO'd him. Ernie Juarez, Lucas Feria, Austin Bashi's only lost to a decision against C-Rod, beat John Yanis, but he's been out for a year. I don't know much about grappling. How can I understand it when I watch butt scooting for 5 minutes straight? Well, you know what? Bryce Mitchell's gonna fix all of that. Bryce Mitchell's gonna fix all the butt scooting in grappling. He will. Bryce Mitchell will. Bryce Mitchell's gonna fix all the butt scooting. He's gonna take down Michael Musumeci and sub him out in round 2. That's what Bryce Mitchell's doing. I'm telling you. UFC BJJ. BJJ. Bryce Mitchell. It won't tell me which UFC BJJ. I like Delgado. He needs to keep up his wins up. He does. Like I said, the Woods fight, him being robbed by Woods is looking very good. I just don't like the Andre Philly split decision win for him. But you know, and then the Hyder Mill KO's not looking so good, but he does have some nasty wins. The Nathaniel Wood arguable robbery where he should have won that fight is really pushing him. So I think a decision's good. Austin Bashi's pretty durable. He hasn't been in there with the heaviest hitter, so I could see Delgado clipping him in like the second or third. The way Bryce talks about it's hilarious, dude. Bryce gonna show Michael Musumeci what's up, dude. He's gonna teach Michael Musumeci you don't scoot your butt in BJJ. UFC BJJ 11. When is UFC BJJ 11? UFC BJJ 11. Oh, did y'all know? Is it just y'all? Is it just me, or did they take out the UFC thing that they do on Google? Like when I type in the UFC, they don't do that thing anymore where it pops up all the cards and stuff. Big Time MMA may be out of a job, dude. Maybe out of a job. Oh, Thursday, September 21st. Okay, dude. So but that means Bryce won't be fighting for a while, huh? If he's training for this UFC BJJ thing, he won't be fighting for a while. It's at featherweight. When does Michael Musumeci normally? What does he normally fight at? Bryce, Thug Nasty Mitchell. Do they have his? They do have Michael Musumeci. He normally fights at bantamweight. I want to say no. Connor Askren for Christmas card. McGregor, just so he can get a win, dude. That may happen. Yeah, he normally fights at bantamweight. He was gonna fight at 170 for one of these. So he has fought at featherweight before, fought at flyweight, fought at lightweight before. Okay, so he isn't like a really really small bantamweight moving up. What is he though? He's 30. He's 5'7", 67-inch reach. What is Bryce? Bryce is 31, 5'10", 70. Okay, so not that bad. I mean, Bryce could get it done just off of control. If there's no leg locks, it's a decently interesting fight or roll. I don't know what you call BJJ matches. Do you like RAF? Not really. I mean, I don't. Wrestling is just weird because whenever you try and watch RAF, I don't know where to watch it. I know it's on Fox or something. I just don't really watch it. I don't know. I like wrestling's fun. Like the pins and like the pick up and slams are fun. But they don't really do that on RAF. It's pretty technical wrestling, huh? Unless it's like Armin. And then if it's Armin or Chimaev, you know they're gonna crash out and try and punch and cause a big brawl. They're gonna jump somebody. Just can't help themselves. Um, yeah, I think we're gonna go with the Delgado. I think we're gonna keep the Delgado decision. Do we do late rounds TKO for Delgado? When does he normally get his KOs? 4 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 3 first round submissions, 1 third round submission. He only lost by 2 decisions. I think we're just gonna keep. I think Delgado's just gonna hit hard when he needs to. Get those knockdowns, get the visible damage in the rounds, and win it probably 30-27. Maybe Bashy starts off strong. But we're gonna go. We're gonna go with it. We're gonna keep the Delgado decision. I think that's a pretty good call. Now, let's see. When has Alberto Montes really been KO'd? Let's break this down. McMillen has 4 KOs all in the first, 5 submissions in the first, and 1 decision. Coming off that KO in the first off of Zucchini. I mean, he's coming. See, why are people treating like McMillen has no chance? I've been seeing that a lot on Twitter. People are acting like McMillen has no chance. What, are we acting like Alberto Montes did not just submit Ricky Tercios? He submitted Ricky Tercios, guys. Calm down. Is Arizona a hotspot for fighting? I feel like a lot of folks born or work out there. I mean, John Jones, O'Malley, and Tim Walter are fighting up there, setting up there. I think it's definitely becoming a hotspot. If it's not a hotspot already, it's becoming one for sure. Why is it okay? Okay, did not mean to do that. There we go. But yeah, it's definitely like I said. If it's not a hotspot, it probably is becoming one because O'Malley and Tim Walsh are setting up like a compound. They're probably going to start training more and more people. Probably if Tommy Gunn goes far, I wouldn't be surprised if we have more people go far out of that camp. But let's see. Alberto Montes has been KO'd once in the second by Ira Lukowski. Now, how does Ira Lukowski? He's 3-1. He's 3-1, and he's lost a lot. Yeah, I think honestly, a McMillen early rounds KO is not that far out of it. Are we thinking round 1 or are we thinking round 2? Does McMillen get another round 1 KO? I don't think that's far off. He's got to be careful with that front head choke and how he sticks his head into things, but do we fall for the hype? I am very gullible. I am very gullible, you know? Also, thank y'all for liking the stream. I'm just now looking at that. I liked it myself because how much I love the stream, of course. So thank y'all for liking that. I appreciate that. You even have to tell y'all? Wait a minute. For this fight, I like round 2 for either Montes. Never made it to the 3rd round. Either fighter. Yeah, I don't. Has Montes made it to the 3rd? He has 1 decision. I know McMillen's never gone past. They both gone to a decision. When did McMillen go to a decision? He went to a decision. Oh, against David McGoyan. That's right. But that was a sick fight. McGoyan was a sick. Did he win on the? He did win. McGoyan did win on the. Man, McGoyan's gotten 3 wins. 1 combat jiu-jitsu win, so by submission, and then 2 wins in MMA. Albert Morales and Javier Garcia, decent wins. This looking like a pretty good win for Tommy McMillen, his win over David McGoyan. I know that's Armin's guy. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, I think I like round 2. Okay, wasn't sure. Yeah, they both been to a decision. On the Contender Series, McMillen put on a crazy pace. So he can't keep that pace across 3, is what we figured out. And Montes has had 3 decision wins. But that was early in his career. Boris Reyes, Jose Rafael. Who did he get KO'd? I thought he got KO'd by Larry and Douglas. No, I think that was another Reyes kind of guy. It's just Montes got KO'd in the second by a guy who was 2-0 at the time when he was 7-0, and now the guy that he got KO'd by is 3-4. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this guy who's 2-0 is now 3-4. So, I think McMillen can definitely get a finish. Can definitely get a finish early. Does he get it round 1 though? I just don't think he has the power for round 1. You're right. I don't think he has the power. I think round 1 he's going to hurt him up badly. I think he'll hurt him a couple times. Round 1, and then round 2 is when he'll put him away. I like MC, but I hope he doesn't get fraud checked. McMillen. Yeah, I think it's gonna take someone who's a really good striker. I think McMillen, he's a decent grappler, and I don't think Alberto Montes isn't the guy to shoot in and really grapple with you. And even then, McMillen has very good grappling accolades. I think you got to be a very technical striker who's gonna punish McMillen for his overswinging, for his bad striking techniques and his fundamentals on the feet. That what he's at featherweight. Let's look at featherweight. Alex versus Hockett, Ilya versus Patty, Armin versus Justin McGregor, Chandler, same card. That's too big. Unfortunately, the UFC does not make massive cards like that anymore, Michael Blasco. They want to separate it so that they can have a main event for each one. Because Pereira Hockett is a sick fight. That's a very cool co-main event. You can't have, unless it's another big event like the White House card, you can't have Pereira Hockett and Ilya Patty on the same card. Because those are both sick co-main events. Armin Justin, sick main event. You got to have that. I mean, you can maybe do Armin Justin, McGregor Chandler, maybe, because McGregor definitely lost a lot of star power with that last loss. It's a strange thing, but they don't. It's sad, but they don't like having a lot of big fights on the same card unless it's a big event. Like UFC Freedom 250 was the last time. Like it's gonna be UFC 400. If UFC 400 was coming in was on the horizon, then that's when all those fights would be made. But because it's not, we're not gonna get all those fights together because they're all six fights, but because they're so sick, they're gonna have to keep them separate. Unfortunately, what was I gonna do? Oh yeah, I was gonna look at who I think could beat McMillen. Who I'm gonna tell you, Danny boy, I don't think a lot of people could front check McMillen unless if they treat McMillen right. If they don't push him up too quickly, I don't think there's many people who could front check him right now that are unranked. Now ranked, we're talking different, but let's look at the featherweight division. Like I think McMillen would beat David Onama. If you wanted to get somebody into the featherweight rankings, give them David Onama. Free, easy win. He probably beats Pitbull at this point with how Pico looked. But like Mayron Santos, do not give McMillen Mayron Santos. That's dangerous. Don't give him Jose Delgado. He could maybe win against William Gomez. He could probably outgrapple William Gomez. C-Rod, that'd be a good fight to figure out how good McMillen is. A fight with Christian Rodriguez. Chris Gutierrez, maybe. Morgan Charriere, I think McMillen would probably win. Nathaniel Woods, probably lose to Nathaniel Woods, get outstruck. Like these technical fighters who are very, very solid and are kind of point fighters definitely would beat McMillen. But these guys who McMillen can either outgrapple or put a pace on with his like Danny Silva would be a sick fight with McMillen. That'd be a pretty sick fight. He lost to Vallejos because Vallejos mixed in the grappling, so I could see McMillen beating Danny Silva. Like there's a lot of these guys he beats. But ranked. Let's not talk about rankings yet. Because Jose Delgado's ranked. For the meta rankings, so that's pretty good. Anderson Brito's ranked. Aaron Pico's ranked. Yeah. Nathaniel Woods ranked number 9 for the meta rankings. I like that. I like that a lot. Anyways, let's keep on going. I like McMillen round 2 KO. I like it. I could have gone first, but you're right. I don't that's the kind of thing with his style is McMillen doesn't have any power. He has decent collar ties to bring into knees. You saw that against Zucchini. He had a really good collar tie and then would hammer knees to the forehead. I don't know if he'll be able to do that to Montes. I don't know if he'll want to clinch up with Montes too much. Hey, what is your name, by the way? Well, it's by the numbers, dude. It's by the numbers, dude. We're anonymous. Anonymous out here. I'm gonna try not to give away my name because if my job sees what I'm saying, I don't know if you've seen some of these earlier videos, but I've said some crazy stuff. So I'm hoping I have plausible deniability where if I don't say my name, they can't fire me. Is the plan. If they find out that I have a channel, because I work for Walmart and they're pretty strict. So the plan is if I don't say my name, then I can just say, and they pull up a video of me calling somebody the R word. I get pulled into the office and they're showing videos of me calling someone the R word. I can say, that guy's a doppelganger. That's not me. That's not me. That guy's a doppelganger, guys. Dude, I would never say the R word. I would never say it. That's just a doppelganger. And then scot free. But maybe if if this becomes my full-time job, then I would say my name. But for now, so that I don't get kicked out of college and my work. And if I want to stay risky, with some of my calling Dan Hooker gay video, we're gonna stay not anonymous because of course I'm showing my face, but anonymous enough where I think legally I can be fine because I haven't said my name. Now the voice, again, just a crazy doppelganger, dude. Ton of doppelgangers out today, dude. That's not me. See, look, I shaved, and then I'll be shaved when they show the video. So I'll look completely different because it's not me. First of all, if you're an employer, I'm not me. There we go. Could you imagine the reaction if Conor McGregor kicked Max's head off with the opening kick? It would have been a divine moment. If he head kick KOs Max Holloway with that jumping switch kick, and then shatters his knee either way. So Holloway's on the floor out cold, and McGregor's on the floor holding his knee. What could have been? What could have been, dude? If McGregor won, we probably would have seen a new we probably would have had a new era of popularity within the sport, especially if he won the way he. The only way he could have won that night is if that jumping switch kick landed and KO'd Holloway out cold, or like that jumping switch kick lands and he TK like a TKO with hammer fists. The UFC is a cruel sport, though. Cruel sport. All right, moving up. I mean, do we want to say anything? Do we want to argue with this decision? I don't think there are any arguments right now for this decision. I know Bedtime MMA picked Tabitha Ritchie to beat Werner Jandiroba. I don't know what he's doing. He also picked Bedtime picked some weird women's fights, dude. He picked Tracy Cortez to beat Wayne Kong. I don't know, dude. Fatima Klein, the Angela Hill decision's not that good. Because she decisioned Angela Hill, I don't know if she'll finish Tabitha Ritchie, but I think she'll definitely. What is that? 5 inches reach advantage and a 6-inch reach advantage and a 5-inch height advantage. If she doesn't get this win, dude, she's a disappointment. Is all I gotta say. And then here we go. Chase Hooper, Mitch Ramirez. Is that more centered? Is that more centered? There we go. This is tough. In my opinion, this is tough because I don't know if I can trust. I don't know if I can trust Chase Hooper. Can I trust Chase Hooper? You like Klein? There's something. There's 2 things to like about Tabitha Ritchie. There's 2 things, and that's it. And that's it. So and those things do not help her fight. Oh my goodness, dude. Chase Hooper's hiding his receding hairline. If you look at his topology, dude, y'all can see it right here. He is hiding a monster of a receding hairline. Under this curl right here, dude. Oh my goodness, dude. It probably goes like that. Keep Hooper out of the parlays. Yeah, he's just so unreliable, dude. He's so unreliable. Hooper needs to win. He does. He'll be on a 3-fight skid if he loses. Because looking back at it, to be fair, the Jim Miller win's not that bad. If we're thinking about it, him decisioning Jim Miller, out grappling him, not that bad. Clay Guida armbar. The Vyacheslav Borshev's not the worst. Jordan Levitt, not the best, not the worst. Again, he has some weird wins, Chase Hooper. Nick Fourier, decent. Actually, looking back at it, they cut Nick Fourier out of the UFC. Is this here? No, it's not. One of Chase Hooper's wins, Nick Fourier. He loses to Chase Hooper, and he is on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-fight finishing streak outside of the UFC. Of course, he's fighting guys not even that bad of competition, if I'm being honest. So can Chase Hooper take this to the ground? Mitch Ramirez has been submitted 0 times. He has 2 submission wins, 5 KO wins, 4 in the first, 1 in the second. He's been KO'd 3 times. Mike Davis KO'd him. Decent. Mike Davis had a pretty competitive fight with Rusty Yam. Tiago Moises KO'd him, though, with leg kicks. I don't know. Got KO'd by Carlos Prates. So I'm hoping with lighter man skill, Chase Hooper can get this done. Via lighter man skill, Chase Hooper can get this done. Chase Hooper, of course, former featherweight. Mitch Ramirez is a former welterweight. Chase Hooper fought at welterweight for a bit. KO'd a guy at welterweight. Oh no, that was Nick Ramirez. Hooper just taken by sub. He needs to get to the back. Or to the basic. Back to the basic. Yeah, with how he's just taking down. Yeah, he's trying to. I don't know what he was doing against Hernandez and Gibson Jr., if I'm being honest. Yeah, I used to be at featherweight. I'm gonna. I always do this for Chase Hooper. I say I'm gonna pick him just because he has promise. He has a lot of promise. Very insanely good jujitsu. Insanely good jujitsu. He just doesn't use it. I feel like it for some reason. He kind of refuses to use his jujitsu to the max he could. Um, so let's pick Chase Hooper. Do we think he'll submit Mitch Ramirez? I think he definitely can. But he didn't submit Jim Miller. That's the thing. Didn't submit Jim Miller. Didn't submit Jim Miller. Visual Borchev, he submitted in the second. That's not the worst. Jordan Levitt, he submitted in the first. Rear naked choke. It's just, it seems like Chase Hooper he's kind of like Pimlet in the terms of he's just kind of hoping it gets to the ground somehow. He won't shoot a takedown, but he's just gonna hope and pray that it somehow ends on the ground. Is what Chase Hooper is what it looks like he's been doing recently. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Steven Peterson lost a decision, lost 2 decisions, got KO'd. Coria decision. I'm gonna say a Chase Hooper decision. I think it'll kind of be like that Jim Miller fight where he's just gonna keep dominant positions where he's threatening a submission, but he doesn't really go for it to risk it in case he'll fall off or something. So I'm gonna say Chase Hooper decision. If he gets KO'd in the first again, we're gonna have problems. We're gonna have problems if Chase Hooper gets KO'd in the first. We are gonna have to have serious conversations if Chase Hooper's career is over. Honestly, if he gets KO'd again, if he gets KO'd in the first again, his career's over. Now, if he loses to a decision, that's a different discussion. But if he gets KO'd, it's over. Genuinely over. So we'll see. And that's the last fight that was unchosen. Of course, we have Christian Leroy Duncan. I have him winning by decision. What do we think of that? I kind of like it. I think if Cannonier couldn't or if RoboCop couldn't finish Cannonier, I don't know if Christian Leroy Duncan can. Of course, Duncan is more dynamic than RoboCop, so maybe that's how. And Cannonier will just give up. But if you think about it, Cannonier couldn't get finished against Imavov. Of course, that was an Imavov. When was that? 2 years ago? And he survived Baraujo. Baraujo couldn't KO him. He takes some damage and then comes back against Rodriguez. I think Rodriguez just gasses out too quickly. Christian Leroy Duncan at least has some gas into him. It's not a 5 round or 2, which helps a lot. I like Christian Leroy Duncan by a decision. Cannonier's only been KO'd twice in the first and once in the fourth. This is only 3 rounds. CLD has 5 KOs in the second. I like CLD. I do too. The Roman Dolidze fight, though, does leave a bad taste in my mouth. Does leave an awful taste in my mouth. Awful taste. But Marco Tulio KO, not the best, not the worst. Eric Anders KO. Decision from Andre Pulaev gets that decision win. Oh, it was this spinning elbow, huh? That was sick. But he lost a decision to Gregory Rodriguez. That's the thing. That's the thing about CLD. He did lose to Armin Petrosian and Gregory Rodriguez before by decision. I don't know. I don't think Cannonier is going to KO him, though. I don't think Cannonier is going to KO CLD. So the question is, does Cannonier just out technicality? Just be too technical for CLD? I don't think so. I think CLD get this. I think decision for CLD is a pretty. I think that's a lot of people are choosing them by decision. Okay. I get my picks in so I can watch other people's picks. I don't like to watch. I can't watch I can't watch bedtimes or gurus prediction videos until I make mine. So I gotta get this done, dude. And finally, the main event: Usman Duplessis. I like 4th round TKO. Do I change it to 5th? I think I think the 4th round is when Duplessis is really gonna start stuffing the takedowns. Maybe even the 3rd. I could see a 3rd round TKO for Duplessis. When does he get most of his KOs? 4 in the first, 5 in the second. Duplessis has 11 submission wins. He has more submission wins. 4 in the first, 3 in the second, 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth. How funny would it be if Dricus du Plessis just guillotines Usman out cold on the first takedown? First takedown attempt, takedown attempt from Usman just gets guillotined out cold. That'd be funny. Now that'd be funny. This is a strike fight for CLD. Yeah, it's going to be striking. I could see Cannonier maybe shooting in some takedowns. He did against MVP late rounds. But I think if he Deleezy's a lot more of a beast on the ground. Not beast, but he's a lot more dangerous on the ground than Cannonier. Cannonier will just hold you down on the floor. Deleezy at least has some submission threats when on the ground, and CLD survived that. So I think CLD will even survive. I could definitely see Cannonier shooting a takedown like round 2 or round 3. You like DDP? I do too. I do too. How does he win though? How does he win? Usman's been KO'd only once in the 5th. So will DDP just KO Usman? He's definitely the most powerful person. The thing is, Usman's just been hurt a lot though. Like, if you look at it, Usman's resume is kind of a fraud. Kind of fraudulent. Lost to Edwards. Edwards been awful. Beat Buckley, but Buckley's probably the weakest prospect in welterweight at this moment. Beat Covington twice. Masvidal twice. Beat Burns. Woodley at the time was a pretty good win for him, so good for that. And Burns has a glass chin, and he KO'd Burns, but still. RDA, I guess, was a pretty good. The Ultimate Fighter finale. Damian Maia decision. Sean Strickland, he beat Sean Strickland, dude, and Sean Strickland's really good. So this is tough. Du Plessis only been to a decision 3 times. 2 of them are Strickland. Well, he's been to a decision 4 times, actually. And half of them are Strickland. DDP's really good. Striking. Does he KO? This is what I'm kind of struggling. Does he KO DDP or does he KO Usman? Does he KO Usman? I think so. He's 39. Kind of same height and reach basically. So, but Usman, has he ever felt 185 power? 185 power is a lot different than 170 power. If I'm being honest, do y'all think the same? What are we thinking? What is the power gap between 170 and 185? I feel like it's quite a bit. Is it as much between 185 and 205 from middleweight to light heavyweight? Or from light heavyweight to heavyweight? Maybe not. But I still think that's a pretty big power gap. And if I'm being honest, besides Gregory Rodriguez, du Plessis is one of the hardest hitting middleweights right now. That's ranked. Like what? Joe Pyfer's actually a pretty hard hitting middleweight, so it's du Plessis, Pyfer, maybe a Mavov, but a Mavov, even then, he doesn't have that much power. He just KO'd Adesanya. Maybe CLD doesn't even have power. He's just dynamic, and that's what catches people off guard because he's dynamic for a middleweight. That's how he's kind of getting KOs because they don't expect him to be a dynamic middleweight, but he just is. The thing is, Usman's been training for the year and a half that he's been off. That's true, and I'm assuming that Usman knew he was going to go up to middleweight. Like, I'm sure this isn't. If Usman loses, the same people that said that Chimaev lost because he was told he was going to go up to light heavyweight, and then he had to back down to middleweight. They're going to be the same people that say, "Oh, Usman was actually going to fight at welterweight again, and then he had to bulk up for middleweight, so he wasn't a proper middleweight." Shut up. I am taking DDP. Do I want to go by finish? Can he? Leon Edwards had the perfect head kick that KO'd Usman. Can Dricus du Plessis not recreate that because he doesn't have to. He was getting tagged up on the feet by Buckley, but Buckley was hitting him with pretty hard shots and there was no reaction. Let's look at the let me actually look. I'm going to look up at the stats. Usman, Buckley, fight stats. Let's look at Usman and Buckley fight stats real quick. I want to see when Buckley starts stuffing Usman's takedowns. And I cannot reach this page. Okay. Can I go by round? I cannot. Great. There we go. By round. Fighter per round. Round 3, Usman went 1 of 1 for takedowns. Round 2, Buckley stuffed the takedown. Round 4, Usman goes 1 for 3 on takedowns. And round 5, Usman goes 0 for 6 on takedowns. Marcus Du Plessis? Chimaev. Duplessis Chimaev. Per round, Chimaev shot in 17 takedowns and didn't land 5. Duplessis started stuffing takedowns in round 4. I'm liking the round 4, but Duplessis, let's assume Duplessis gotten better. How long has Duplessis been gone? About a year. Buckley had bad ground defense. That's true too. Like I said, I don't know if you were here earlier, Danny Boy, but the hierarchy in grappling at welterweight is crazy if you think about it. Because Usman was destroying everybody with his grappling, so good at grappling, and then Edward comes in, and of course Usman wins the first fight, was winning the second, gets head kick KO'd. But the third fight, Edwards figured it out and wins the third fight. Usman's grappling wasn't too bad then, and then if you look at how much effort Usman had to put in against Edwards, and then you look at against how Sean Brady does against Leon Edwards, where he just destroys Leon Edwards in the grappling, submits him, and then you look at how Usman was doing against Buckley, and Buckley starts stuffing his takedowns and starts hitting him heavy in the third and fourth rounds, the fourth and fifth rounds. And then you have I'm kind of glazing? Who am I glazing? Peace and love, man? Oh, peace and love, Mr. Mustachio. Who am I glazing? Am I glazing Sean Brady? Quite possibly. Am I quite possibly glazing Sean Brady? I could be. I have to. But then Sean Brady just destroys Edwards, destroys Buckley, grapples Buckley way more impressively, in my opinion. I'm thinking the round 4 TKO for Duplessis is what you do. I think that's what you got to do. Unfortunately. You're just doing the most, bro, and it's disrespect to the ghost of the sport. Is that Usman? I'm disrespecting Usman? What did I say to disrespect Usman? Who came before, man? Come on. How am I disrespecting Usman? Going to bed, peace? Okay, Mr. Mustachio. I mean, if you just look back, Usman doesn't have the best resume if we think about it. It's not disrespect, it's being what's it called? Objective. Objectively, Usman does not have the best title defense record if you look back at it retroactively. It's not aged as well as honestly, Mighty Mouse's defenses honestly have aged better. If we're being honest, Mighty Mouse's title defenses have aged better than Kamaru Usman's title defenses are. True or false? True or false? Tell me if I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong, Mr. Mustachio. Let me know if I'm wrong, Mr. Danny Boy. Wallpaper settings, if you're still here, let me know if I'm wrong. Mighty Mouse's title defenses have aged better than Usman's. Anyways, those are the picks. We're going to go through one last review. We have Duplessis round 4 KO. We have Christian Leroy Duncan decision. We have Chase Hooper decision. This is the one I'm worried about. Chase Hooper, dude. We have Fatima Klein decision. It's WMA. We have McMillen round 2 KO. We have Jose Delgado decision. We have Seong Hyuk KO. Seok Hyun KO decision. We have Franco by a round 2 submission. All right. We have Alden Coria round 2 KO. We have RJ Harris by a decision. We have Melisano by decision. All right. Listen, we're going a little crazy with this one. We're taking an underdog in WMA. Who would have thunk it? And now we have Ezra Elliott by decision. All right. Elliott's the favorite by submission too. So he seems to be the favorite. I did not think that. I didn't even look at that. So yeah, those are the picks. I've been live for 2 hours. My butt hurts. But you know what, dude? Good live stream. I'm glad, this may be a thing in the future. I'm not sure. Let me know if y'all liked it. I guess in the prediction video, when I make my prediction video, probably be tonight, maybe early tomorrow morning, I'll make my prediction video. Just let me know in the comments if you want to be kind of surprised by my predictions, or if you want it to be through a live stream, we kind of talk it out. I don't know. I had fun. I kind of had fun. I'm sure once we get more people, it may be harder to do a prediction live stream because of how intense it'd be. Because of course, we're going up. We can only go up. So there definitely will be more people. Hopefully. Now, other than Hooper with a heavy favorite on the cards, drops the ball, that kills parlays. Oh, what heavy favorite do I think drops the ball? Heavy favorite that drops. I mean, I could definitely see Christian Leroy Duncan fumbling. What is he? Minus 330. Is there a heavier favorite? It's, by the way, pretty good odds on McMillen Montes for him being a near even. Pretty good odds. Duplessis. I don't think I see Duplessis being held down by Usman. I don't see it. I don't know. Seok Hyun KOs look pretty good. I don't know if he'll drop the ball. Out in Coria, minus 1,000 favorite is insane, to be fair. To be fair, that is insane. I'm sure Stuart Nicoll is pretty good. That's pretty even. Heavy favorite, Dion Barbosa. That says heavy favorite. Yeah, the biggest person who I think can drop the ball and kills a parlay is going to be Christian Leroy Duncan. He's just, if off of that Roman Dolidze performance, it's hard to think that he won't. It's very hard to think that he won't. Vegas, they always do win. Let me show you this. I made a bet. So I had on underdog, there was a bet for Argentina England. All right, let me show you this bet. I can't show you on the phone because it's like reverse, so it's not going to look good. But I picked Argentina to beat England. By the way, they upset England. I picked Argentina when they were a big underdog. They beat England, and I picked Anthony Gordon to have lower than 1.5 shots attempted. He only had 1. I had Jordan Pickford to have higher than 2.5 saves. He had 3. I had Alexis McAllister to have more than 1 shot on target, or more than half of a shot on target. He had 1. I had Messi to have more than half an assist. He had 1. I had Enzo Fernandez to have more than more than 0.5 shots on target. He had 1. And then I had a free little deal for Caitlin Clark to have more than 12.5 points. She had 13. And the only thing that got wrong was Messi having less than 1.5 goals. I thought he'd get 1 goal. Messi got 0 and sold my parlay. It would have been $3 for 300, and instead it's 0. It's $3 for $0. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. So Vegas always wins. Yeah, you're right. You agree with CLD throwing it? I mean, in terms of like, if you're like, was that one whole parlay? It was. It was an 8 leg. It was an 8 leg. I got everything right but one. Because Messi is awful. But I hope Argentina wins, because if Argentina wins, I will be making a video. Actually, I may just make a video before the World Cup happens. Where I say, uh, the UFC needs Argentina to win the World Cup or something. Where I use the World Cup hype to hopefully flood into my video and say how if Argentina wins, you make an Argentina card. Kevin Vallejos, Yair Rodriguez as the main event. You hopefully have Esteban Ribovic ready in time for a co-main, and then you have Aylin Perez as a feature fight where she shakes her butt or something, I don't know. And then you have Francisco Prado. Before you cut him, you give him one last fight. You have an Argentina fight night card in whatever city in Argentina you want, because I know all the cities in Argentina. I just don't want to lock you down to one certain city in Argentina. So whatever Argentinian city you want, you go there, UFC. But I think that'd be a I think if the UFC doesn't go to Argentina, if Argentina wins, even if Argentina loses, they'd still be pretty high in terms of sport popularity, sport camaraderie, where they love their sporting events over in Argentina. Of course, you see their fans are crazy. I'm sure they'd go to a UFC event. Anyways, I'm gonna get off. It is 1 in the morning for me. And my butt hurts because this chair is awful. I bought this chair. I bought a desk chair. It's awful, dude. It's awful. Ooh, maybe that's a little bit better. I've been sitting where that. Maybe that's what you need to do. That's actually probably it. If I have it at its lowest, where it's against the floor, a lot of pressure going up. But if I have it a little bit, there we go. A little bit less pushback. Anyways, I'm done yapping for tonight. The picks video will be out tomorrow, along with maybe another video before tomorrow is done, because I need to, get some stuff done. But I thank you all for coming on. Mr. John Douglas, I think. Wallpaper Settings, if you're still here. Mr. Danny Boy, Ohio, thank you for showing up. Michael Blasco, thank you for showing up. 10-7 MMA, I know you were here for a little bit, thank you. Little Cupcakes, thank you. So it's John Doug. John Dong. But thanks to anyone who showed up. Anthony Sillo, I know he's probably gone, but again, anybody who shows up, I appreciate it greatly, dude. We're trying to make things happen. And you know what? Things happen one thing at a time. So I will see y'all tomorrow. Well, plus V, I'll probably be streaming tomorrow. Don't be funny. Make some money. Buy the numbers. Peace out.